I've got some breaking news today, and that is that the Biden-era pistol brace rule is finally and officially done. Stay tuned for the details. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is breaking news I wanted to get out to you guys as quickly as possible, so that means that Liberty Toddler is behind the camera and may or may not make a cameo that may or may not make it into the final cut depending on how feisty she is. So, short version here is that the DOJ has agreed to dismiss its appeal in Mock v. Bondi, which was the lawsuit against the Biden-era pistol brace rule. It seemed like there were more lawsuits flying around under Biden than I could count, but this was the one that involved pistol brace owner William Mock, Maxim Defense, and the Firearms Policy Coalition. Last July, a summary judgment went in their favor, and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals vacated the rule, saying that it was likely ATF overreach. But the DOJ continued its appeal. And of course, Trump said that this rule would be done, but doing is different than saying. Now, FPC says that they have reached an agreement with the DOJ to dismiss their appeal. Now, I am the kind of person that says I will believe it when it is in writing, so here it is in black and white. Pursuant to Federal Rule of Appellate Procedure 42B1, the parties hereby stipulate to the dismissal of this appeal with all parties to bear their own costs. Plaintiffs retain the right to seek attorney's fees in district court, including attorney's fees incurred on appeal. Even before this rule, there were some vague and pretty fuzzy guidelines on braces with a lot of flip-flopping from the ATF. In 2012, the ATF said that attaching a brace would not alter the classification of a firearm, and then in 2014 said that the ATF doesn't classify weapons based on how someone uses them, and that firing an AR-type pistol from the shoulder doesn't suddenly make it a rifle. But later that year, they changed their mind, saying that concealment or the subjective use of a brace as a shoulder stock would change the classification from a pistol to a short-barrel rifle. In 2017, they went back to saying braces are perfectly legal for large pistols, but when used as a stock with certain firearms with barrels less than 16 inches, then you have an NFA item. So basically, it was coming down to how the individual brace was being used. The Biden-era rule complicated things by putting out a subjective 6-factor test to allegedly help gun owners decide if they were following the law or were felons with NFA items, which obviously was less than helpful. Half a dozen lawsuits were filed, and now, finally, here we are. In a statement, FPC said, "The government is finally retreating from the Biden administration's patently unlawful effort to turn millions of peaceable people into felons by decree. This horrible rule was a perversion of our system of limited government, so we're glad to see this case resolved in favor of liberty and the rule of law." All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the news today, quick and dirty. You guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Please do them. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.